I would like to ask you, okay, what your impressions were of this. I'd like you to reflect back and think about what your impressions of the assignment were at the beginning when I handed it to you, and just, I want to hear what you have to say. So, okay, speak to me.
You said from the beginning that it was supposed to be a global issue, a national issue, and a citywide issue that somehow was supposed to affect us globally as the human race. And I didn't see a lot of that in these people's presentations. She was stalked. He stalked her. He watched her every move until the day she died. They're allowed to do this harm to women, but what needs to be realized is that it's not the fault. It's not their fault. It's ours. We have got to do something to stop this. We've got to try. In San Diego, 70% of pregnant teens are being battered. And they're teenagers, they're children. Children having more kids and they're being battered. The reason that this teen summit started in the first place was because 16-year-old Tamara Smith and 17-year-old, I think it was Sandy, they were brutally killed by their abusive lovers. And to get back on the global issues, in Africa, like I said, 51% of the women there also believe that they do not have to go to the authorities. And this is a problem that can only be solved through education. This is a problem that only through us we can help. We have got to get up and say to these women, you don't have to be hit. This is not right. We also have to teach the abusers and the offenders of this crime that it's wrong and how to deal with the rage that they're feeling inside.
Okay, the question is, if at the end of this process, okay, you felt like you learned something, and if so, what did you learn and what was valuable about the process?
I didn't do community service, but I feel that I got a lot out of this project. I really enjoyed doing it. I mean, I had all the stress and everything.
The stress. You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed the project. I feel that this is something that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm going to know everything that I learned, and it's had a major impact on me, and I know more about my project than I ever did before. And
at what point would you say that something happened for you? If something, if you had a positive experience out of this, where would you say personally that happened for you? Okay, yes.
When I was doing my volunteer hours and I met people from Canada and they started talking and they got really into it, like just when I asked one question, they just got
really excited about it.
Yeah, and they just kept on going. And it meant a lot to them that we were doing.
Yeah. Great. Oh, good. Okay, great. Sean.
Well, I was probably at the multicultural fair because I get to deal with a lot of multicultural people and talk to them about how illiteracy affects their nations and how illiteracy affects our nation. And they were pretty informational about that.
You really don't think that, like, when you look at it, you don't see the people who are trying to make a difference. And when you do see the people who are really out there having these meetings and trying to get people together to understand what is going on and see how big a problem that your issue is, it really makes you feel good when they say, oh, I'm so happy you're here. Would you please come back?
When I found a dead bird on the beach.
Okay. Why did that impact it?
Because, okay, when I was younger, my dad had a sailboat, and we used to go to Fiesta Island, and we used to go sailing. And we went, like, every other weekend in the summer. And this is where I used to go swimming, and this is where I know tons of children play every year, and there was a dead bird right there, and I don't know what kind of bird it is. The thing is, though, it's a bird estuary in that area. It's least tern. It's not a least tern, but those are.
Where's the head?
The head's over in the corner there. You couldn't really tell. It's really decomposed. It's like it's not really a problem until you go down there and you see what you're looking at, see what I'm talking about, and that was. It made an impact right there. This is in La Jolla. This is a storm drain. All these circles here are pieces of trash found in just a little rock area. I mean, it probably wasn't bigger than this table.
When I read Jennifer's paper and I was reading about Strando and all that kind of stuff, and like 2 days ago I saw Outbreak, Oh my gosh, isn't that freaky? I have been
Is that
scared
right?
ever since
That could
then.
happen. That could happen, and it scared me to death. Researching this,
A movie called
researching this scared me to death because when I read about Strano, it's just like what happened in Outbreak. It starts with a couple
What
people.
about
We don't know about it yet, and we don't know where this guy is that has Strand O.
And he could, like, it can mutate, and
Oh my
then it
gosh.
can be airborne, and then
I want
everyone
to
carries
elaborate
on to
further.
get it.
Tell us what strand
So
O is.
creepy. Oh my god.
What's straight?
Well, it's a mutated strain of AIDS, and it's mainly found in West Africa, but it's rare there too.
Well, only like
And then
one
a
person.
lady came over here from Africa and had sex with one person, and they don't know where he is. They know where she is, but they don't know where he is.
And you can't find it with regular AIDS.
And it's not detectable with regular AIDS tests. There's not really, you have to look for that particular strand.
And the main problem is that students do have insufficient access to technology. My goals are to provide schools with more computers and acquire more technical assistance and training. And in today's situation, we have limited resources and poor access to information. Students are using old learning techniques, and encyclopedias and books can't keep up with the rate of information change.
I feel that the library does not have enough information.
Exactly.
Because when you look for a book and you look for a certain topic, you cannot find it. They don't have anything that, I mean, it's all, and when you look at the publishing dates, it says 1960, 1945. It's 1997.
I found
Alright, we gotta hurry
one
up.
book
We gotta hurry up. We gotta
on
hurry up.
AIDS. One book, and it was from 1983. Okay, AIDS has progressed so much in 10 years that, over 10 years, that information was so outdated, it was still saying that AIDS was a homosexual disease.
I couldn't find any information on Tiananmen Square. That happened in 1989. And well, I mean, librarian, we cool. But it's a book. She found a book of a part of Tiananmen Square that I had to use for my presentation. But I need the whole thing. I couldn't find any information on the part of the China that I needed. And the books that I did find, they had, like she said, 1972. I think the latest date, copyright was like 1980.
How did we get here? Well, the biggest thing is that there's no district-wide technology budget. Schools have to divide their own little budgets to provide for computers and other technology. And because of that, schools don't have enough money for the purchase of computers and technical support and training. For my solution, we should take advantage of the San Diego City Schools Partnerships and Education Program, which has over 650 local businesses involved. Now, if each of these businesses donated $1,000 annually, each school would receive around $4,000 to buy computers, software, technical support, and training for teachers and students. In conclusion, if we use Challenge 2000 as a foundation, and we utilize the Partnerships and Education Program, we can provide our schools with the necessary equipment and training to open up better avenues of research and overall student performance in our schools. And they can be well prepared for the world around us. And I just threw in a couple pictures here of some of the projects that students do work on when they have access to multimedia computers. They can do projects like this. And